Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Star Rupture. I'm the Bearded OG, and in this episode, we are going to get started with our next level. Wow, look at that. It's kind of like a little mapping there. Cool. I guess those are all the pillars. Our next level factory. Before we do that, though, I am out of the original food that we had. So we're going to need grubblers, and we're going to need...
That's just what I need.
Pricklers, and we're gonna start making the stuff that where is it? It's this stuff. Yeah, the Nutrigel. I like that the best because it gives you both food and water. So what do I need to do to unlock that? Eat to gain required ingredients. Oh, right, we need to go to the recipe station over here. Go to food, go to pricklers, and insert those. Man, I wish that tooltip didn't get in the way like that. It's kind of irritating. Some research data in that, and boom, we got those done. There's other things we'll do too, food-wise, but right now I want to stay focused on the build, so let's just max out as many of those as we can make. That's it. Here, we got more of these. I was told by one of you guys in my Discord that there has been an update to the game. I have not. I've been very, very busy over the last several days, so I haven't had time to read patch notes or anything like that. But one of the things that they said was fixed was the the issue with me flying 100 feet up into the air, from the zip line. So that's good. And the other thing too is little shameless plug here. I've also, considering my limited time, I've also been playing a lot of Windrose lately. I just really love that game and enjoying it. So if you guys are interested in watching me play that game, I do have a series going on the channel too. But that's going to be, I think, more of a temporary thing. We'll play it, have fun with it, and then it'll be done. Whereas this series, or Star Rupture in general, I expect to, last for quite some time on this channel. So, we're not in a huge rush, I guess, for this. We'll keep it going as long as you guys are watching and I'm still enjoying it and we have things to do. Anyway, so enough said about that. So we got our food. We just recently had a rupture, as you can see here. And is there anything, before we get started in earnest here, is there anything that I need to do here? Let's look at this. We did look at Rail version 2. Not Rail version 2. We couldn't get Storage Depot 2 now. And then we have to reach level 7 to get to Rail version 3. And we are currently working on level 7, but we need either heat-resistant sheets or synthetic silicon. Okay. And the heat-resistant sheets need glass, and the synthetic silicon, we have the ability or the knowledge, the blueprint, whatever you want to call it, to make that. But gathering the three materials are really spread out at the moment. And so I mentioned this, I think, in the last episode. What we're going to do with that is we're just going to keep working on the main thing here, and we'll eventually get far enough to the east there to where it'll bring that stuff more closely together. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead. Another thing you guys told me is that if I just press control, I drop straight off, and it doesn't even look like it keeps the momentum, so that is really useful. I did not know that. Look at that. All right, awesome. Thank you for that tip. It's amazing. So anyway, yeah, let's get on over here. Something that needs to happen is I need to rebuild. Oh shit, that was a little too soon. I was expecting the momentum. I need to redo all of this. Because this is going to be at least our initial calcium production. I believe that is the plan. God, that looks pretty cool, man. I like our little bus road there. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to build the next factory, I believe, over in this area here. Yeah, no, we need to do that. Yeah, really just kind of right over in here, because we have a relatively flat area, but we have additional supplies of both titanium and wolfram, and it's close to the calcium over there. You know, if and when we get to the point, well, I don't think there's going to be an if about it, when we get to the point
is in its stable stage,
where we can no longer supply stuff from the original factory. Now, I also mentioned this to you guys too several episodes ago. I'm not really concerned right now about flow rates, because I want to wait until we get upgraded to our version 2 extractors, version 2 fabricators, and furnaces first, and then we can go back and we can load balance things and make sure we have efficient flows. But it just doesn't make a lot of sense for me to do that right now, this early on, until, you know, we have our permanent equipment and know what those flows are going to be. So right now I'm just setting stuff up and I'm leaving room for expansion, you know, and then we'll adjust accordingly. Okay, I see one thing they didn't fix is that goddamn loud music. Oh my good gravy, that's loud. I don't know how loud it's going to sound to you guys on the video, but to me it just blows my eardrums out. And I love the music, right? But Jesus Christ, man. It's just crazy loud. Okay, let's click that. Apply. I don't even know if that made a difference. I know I do. I'm a fucking broken record because it happens every time. Anywho, okay, so I guess what we should probably do then is figure out where our high point is. If I were to put down an extractor, let's get up in the air. Okay, so we don't want to really build any further to the north from about where my dude, or dudette in this case, is standing, just so we have enough room for the extractor, so it doesn't stick out, or that little knob of ore sticks out a little further than the extractor will. So just kind of using the knob, was it this knob? Yeah, kind of as the point of reference. And then if we want to go further this way, we're going to have, well, let's not worry about that rock outcropping. This one's going to put us up really fucking high. Maybe we build on the other side of this, and then we can go, you know, or even maybe this rock outcropping. Just because, you know, I don't want to make it super high on this end, because then it's going to be like really high on that end, you know what I mean? So maybe we start right here. Yeah, let's do that, because this, you know, the thing is this factory doesn't need to be ginormous, A, and B, a few of you guys have mentioned this to me, you know, don't forget about verticality. We can build up too. We don't have to just build flat. So that's another consideration. And this is only going to be, well, no, it's not only going to be a fabricator. It's going to be fabricator and furnace recipes. But again, it's only going to be, what, 5, 6 products, maybe? Something like that. So yeah, all right. Now that I'm kind of figuring that out, if we were to start it, I guess we could start it here. Based upon how I'm planning on building this, I don't want to... I want to make sure that the western end of it is the actual western end of it, and we wouldn't expand it any further than that. Do we have build restrictions by the geo thingamadoodle? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Maybe we ought to get that thing knocked out first before we start building, because otherwise we're going to have bug issues. So up in the air, yeah, what I'm thinking of is This would kind of be the western end, then it would go that way, and that way, and it would just be this general area. And again, because of my limited time in real life, I'm doing this as I go. I just don't have time to pre-build it and then build it again. So you guys get this au naturel with all the mistakes and everything else. Unless I edit some of that out. Yeah, why don't we do this? Okay, so I guess we already looked at the dead guy. So we have a core in range. Can we put turrets up? We can, but you know what? I don't have any ammo, or not enough ammo. All right, I'm gonna run back to the base. I'm gonna load up on a bunch of medium, or what's it called? Standard ammo. So we can put a couple turrets down, and then we'll do this geoscanner. Okay, let's put defense turret down here, and we'll put one down here, and maybe one down here. We probably don't need that much coverage for this, but we'll just bring a really big stick. All right. Oh no, actually, first what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to put that there, and yeah, that should work. Because you can't attach the extendable walkways nope, that's not what I want to do. Directly to the turrets. We're going to need to put another thing down here. And then also put one here. And one here. Guess we're gonna have to do something like this. Ramp is too steep. The hell, it's not. What? No, it isn't. Oh, come on, man. These ramps can go way steeper than that. What the fuck? Alright, can we do it on this side? There's something else going on with that. Yeah, see, that one's fine. Alright, can we go from here to here? It might just have something to do with... Here, let's just do that. See if we can get that to work. It might just have something to do with it touching the terrain or something. Okay. So that gives power to our turrets. Let's load them up. We're going to make things easy on ourselves. And we will use the big boy. All right, let's do this.
Geoscanner initialized.
This is our first geoscanner of the series, actually. I did quite a bit of them in season 1. And one bugaboo coming from that direction. They all coming from over here? Over here?
Reloading.
Get wrecked. How we doing? Oh, we're
It
done.
works.
Okay, that was easy. Of course, this is like the very first geoscanner most people do, so easy mode, right? All right, let's pick this shit back up. And we've opened up the area. Very good. All right. There's a lot of pricklers over here. Let's go grab them. Because we need them for our favorite food.
Looks good. Changing mags.
I hear the pitter-patter of evil feet. Oh, there you are. He was buried in the red, whatever the shit that is.
Good stuff.
The red shrubbery. Shrubbery! Okay. Oh, that's that armadillo dude. Oh, you guys told me I could kill that thing if I shot it right in the head. But is there a reason, other than being just a sick, mean, cruel son of a bitch, for doing that? In other words, do we get a resource from it or something? Or is it just being an asshole? I don't know. Let me know. I'll do it if there's a reason, but if there isn't, then I'm not that kind of guy. I know, it's just a video game. Certainly wouldn't do that in real life. Any hoozle. Okay, so let's start. Maybe what we'll do, just because we can, is maybe we'll line up the western end on that pillar. I think that's what we'll do. And then we were gonna just go on the other side of that rock outcropping there, so right about here-ish, I think. So if I take you and eyeball, yeah, okay, that should be lined up on that pillar. Let's just plop that there for the moment, and then yeah, I guess we'll just stay on this side of that rock outcropping. That becomes our cornerstone. Therefore, let's move it over one, because we also have to adjust the height on it now too. We want it to just clear the top of this. So let's grab you. Whoops. That's probably about where we want it. Yep, I think that'll work. Building's not stable. Alright, well, we don't want these here anyway. The other thing I think I'll try to do... Oh, and they didn't fix that little weird artifact bullshit either in the update. I mean, you know, I'm not a developer. I do work in very specialized IT. But it seems to me like that wouldn't be that hard to fix. But I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is hard to fix. Who knows? The other thing I'm going to try not to do is make one big, solid, ginormous platform, you know, for like I did over there, because, you know, it'll save CPU cycles, and it might look kind of cool, you know, to have like walkways rather than just one big platform, too. But we are going to, you know, start with an outline of that anyway, and then, you know, maybe trim it up later. Of course, that's a bit of a pain in the ass to do that, isn't it? Well, I don't know. Let's just definitely get the outline, you know, the outer outline anyway, going. Okay, so now we're going to run into height issues there, and let's actually redo this too. Even though that's very jumpable, I'll still put some ladders there, at least temporarily. Okay, let's run down this way. Now we're going to need to Well, okay, hold on a sec. You'll go there. You'll go there, but you will not go there. Okay. Wanted to make sure I was all the way out. And then we'll put this here, and then we should be able to put... shit, we went down too low. Okay. Alright, take this up. I hope I didn't just mess that up, because sometimes if you bury them too deep... Alright, I guess we'll just do that. That wasn't what I had in mind, but... maybe we will just do it that way. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just do it this way. No, that's not where that's supposed to go. Alright. Let's see. How much further now do I want to bring this over? Probably... let's get our body a little further over. Yeah, this is good because then it leaves us room to kind of neaten that up without necessarily having to completely rebuild it. What we could possibly do too is just build all this stuff on this end of the platform. I might do that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That's a future me problem, as the saying goes. All right, let's get you here, lock you in place, and oh wow, we're getting steep again. If we stop here, okay, that's as far as it's going to let me go. Maybe that's where our stopping point will be. I don't know why it doesn't let me do that, but it doesn't. Okay, now we're going to get too far down there. Okay, let's take you. And I think that's the right height, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Move ourselves a little bit closer. And we'll grab these, lock them in place. Yeah. Go there. There, and there, there, and there. Okay. So the expandable part of this, the plan anyways, is going to be that it can expand to the east. I guess what I should figure out next, though, is what the footprints are going to be for each product that we're going to make, because I'm, you know, as I'm looking at this, this might not be enough room, as big as it actually looks. So let's determine that next. We're going to go back this way. In fact, let's jump down here. Oh, save there, and we'll just put an access up that way. Okay, so now, if I leave the calcium stuff over there, there's really only 2 calcium products that we're going to need. We could keep the blocks over there because the blocks are, well, they're kind of like ingots basically. They are, yeah, they're the calcium equivalent to ingots. We could leave the blocks over there. We just need to make the powder and the sheets. And the sheets are made from a fabricator. The powder is made from a furnace. So for the moment, I'm going. That's going to be the plan. That we're going to use, or that we're going to build those products over here. Okay, lock that in place. I'm not going to completely fill this in. And I didn't actually completely fill that platform in either. So we'll put like supports like every other spot and we'll see how that does. And if we need, you know, end up having stability issues, we'll have to add more. And again, some of this I might end up cutting away later. We'll see. All right. Now, let's plan for powder first. Oh, core. Yes, right. Why don't we move that core over here? Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's move that core over here. I'll have to figure out the best spot for it, but it's gonna... We want to make sure that it reaches far enough to hit the furthest away calcium extractor. Can I nab this from all the way over here? Sure can, look at that. Okay. I'm going to stand right next to the scanner. Get as high up in the air as I can. Okay, so we can slide this guy all the way over to here and about to there. Just as long as the line is touching the extractor. Here, let's set that there momentarily. Oh shit, that doesn't reach. That doesn't reach all of those. But you know what? Again, that's kind of a future me problem. On the other hand, I don't know that I want that core right in our build area. So since that's obviously going to require another core in the future anyway, let's just let's just move this over. We could have it. What's going on here? If I... Oh wow, that's weird. I would have thought that would have put supports underneath that. So, let's build a platform under here. Just because I think it'll look better. I mean, this is the core after all, right? Okay, lock you in. It doesn't have to be completely filled in. That works. That works for me. Maybe what we'll do also then is just build like a little walkway around the outer edge. Like that. And are you going to give me in? Yeah, you're going to give me instability problems, you mother. And that pisses me off. Because there's no apparent reason for it, you know? How am I supposed to know? Alright, well, I guess we won't put the rails up. Rails have been nothing but a disappointment to me, man. I'll tell you what. They really have. Fill that back in. Okay, we got that part figured out. Now, let's go back to furnace, and our first product will be calcium powder. And what we're going to want to do is, I mean, I guess we could just make a nice, neat 90-degree minibus, bringing the calcium into the calcium machines over this way, as opposed to plopping them up on the bus only to pull them right back off over here. I mean, we could do that too, but it might not be necessary to do it that way. All right, so what I think I'm going to do then is I think I'm sometimes, man. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is orient the machines this way. And then as we need to expand, we just keep expanding in that direction. However, let's give ourselves a little more breathing space. We have plenty of room. We don't need to make things super, super tight here. So how about we put you 3 in on each side. Okay, so this will be our first calcium powder machine. Let's do 3 to start. And then, like I said, we can easily expand those later. Okay. Now, we are going to need to run off of the bus for the inputs, and they're going to all go down and travel this way. Except for the calcium. And maybe I should actually set that up next and get that in place, because I don't want to, you know, screw myself up later on that. All right, you need some agua. So copy that. Go here and then there, and then we can probably just use these from here. So it looks like I need to go. I was going every 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we didn't need this one here. Hopefully that spacing will be adequate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course that one's not going to work. God damn it. 2, 3, 4. You have to be a pain in my ass, don't you? All right. Now let's do this. All right, let's go over to, or at least get here, and we are going to run kind of wanted that to go... Well, I do want it to go down the center. So to do that... I think what we want to do is... okay, I gotta think about this. I haven't really given a whole lot of thought to how I'm gonna pull stuff off the bus. Alright guys, I think I have this figured out here. I'm gonna put those there. Raise those up to there. And I'm going to actually redo this. Okay, let's put a rail connector here, drop it down. Put a multi-rail here, like so. Now, we got to cut these. And put another multi-rail here. Okay. Now, let's reattach to there. So the first one we drop down here and then put back up there. And then these guys just keep on going. The second one is the middle rail. Drops down there, comes back up to here. That one keeps on going. That one keeps on going, that one keeps on going, and this third one drops down to here. And then the bus just continues on from here. Let me get a little closer. Come on. There we go. Precision movements, baby. There we go. Okay. Now, can I reach to here? Yes, I can. All right, so what we're going to do here then is we're going to put a multi-rail here. And let's keep it at that height. That's actually probably too high. Is it? Yes. This needs to come down one notch. Okay, grab you. I think that's where it needs to go. I just put that there as a marker. All right, now let's try it. Is that level? Yes, it is. Okay. You know what else? Probably look good here. Is if we if it lets me do this, I think that's going to be too tight. So we're going to have to come out to here. Now we'll put the multi-rail here. Drop it down. I like it. Nice and symmetrical. Okay, so because we are doing calcium first, I think I want to leave at least 3 tiles of space in between these. Maybe 4. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, you know what else I need to do? I need to make leave room to expand these to the version 2. Okay, I'm glad I thought about that right now. Okay, well in that case, let's just do 2 for the moment of each. So if we want to leave a border of 3, we're gonna need to, because it's gonna be 1 wider and 1 longer when we go to version 2. So that means we're gonna want it. Well, we could expand the side to the east. So that can stay there, but we need to leave that extra square there, just like we did at the other plant. Right, okay. Yeah, this was a good time for me to remember that. After I got everything set down. Fabricator, rotate. So yeah, we'll just do 2 for the moment, with expansion room. So we're gonna run the calcium, blocks will come, and we'll make a nice little neat line coming up to here to feed these guys, which means we want this to stay high until we get to the other side of that. All right, so let's yeah, I don't like that this is no longer symmetrical, so I might make that symmetrical later, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Before, I was mostly concerned with function. Now I'm also concerned with form. Yeah, I can already see this is not going to be enough room with the spacing that I'm using. Unless we go vertical. We could go vertical. All right, well, let's grab you. Okay, and then probably drop the line down. Why don't we put that there? And then we'll put this down at normal height, which I think is there. Yeah. Okay. I was just checking the height on that. That is not what I wanted to do. Squirrely fucking things. Okay, that works. And obviously on the other end, we'll have a return going back up to the bus. But because we want to leave room to expand, I'll probably have that return way back over that way. Okay. So you're going to be calcium powder. You're going to be powder. You're going to be sheets. Now let's get our calcium situation figured out. The first thing I want to do is I want to redo the power situation, and we'll probably take those down completely. So why don't we just keep our power? We could keep it along here, because I'm not planning on building anything in this direction anyway. And we'll use these guys, and we want to make sure that it's facing the sun. Yeah, I don't like that that's not putting supports under that. Okay, let's just do that many for now. And we can keep going that way, and we can go this way with these as needed. And eventually, you know, we'll get the turbines, which will be exponentially even better than those. Right, okay. I'm gonna need to get closer. Oh, what would it take to build a walkway up here? A little too steep. All right, let's move this out to maybe there. There we go, that works. Alright, let's come back over here. All we're concerned about over here is making calcium blocks. That's all that matters. Oh, I guess I've got a bunch of ceramics that I made up, don't I? Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna tear all of this up. Everything must go. And we will rebuild it according to the best arrangement. We are out of room. Oh my god, look at all this shit. Here, let's go drop a couple things off in here. I'm probably gonna remove this too. Oh god, even more shit. Okay. Okay, we have room in here. Let's put some of our ammo in here for now, because I don't actually need to be carrying this much ammo with me. Good lord. We were loaded for bear. Or bugs, as the case may be. Let's plop you and you in there. You we can put in here. Okay. I'm going to get all of this cleaned up, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to rebuild it. Alright guys, so I got all that stuff out of the way. I haven't removed this platform yet because I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to keep. But what we're going to do is we're going to set down smelters. Each one of the extractors here produce one, well, it's 2 for 2 seconds, so 1 every second. And if we plug in a smelter, and choose calcium blocks, it's even Steven. So 1 smelter per extractor. That means we're going to put 4 smelters here. And I don't think smelters have a version 2, and not that I recall. So we're not going to leave space for that. So this should be a pretty small operation. You into there. You into there. Just trying to decide if I want to neaten this up a little bit. If I do neaten it up, I'll do that off camera. I mean, it doesn't really look terrible. Okay, hold on a sec. This may not take that much effort to do right now. This one is almost not even worth the effort, but got a bug. Got a bugaboo. Just him? All right, so let's drop you. Yeah, I guess we don't really need to use rail connectors, but if we do, it could potentially give us some more flexibility later. Probably not. Well, it could, yeah, because we can go to version 2 extractors, and then we'd have to put down more smelters. But that's, again, that's a future thing. Okay, so that neatens that one up. Now, if we grab you and do a Y lock, and then just go straight out this way, probably to there, and then run you down to here, and you into there. That's nice and straight, looking good. That part doesn't look good, but I can't do anything about that. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Okay. Bring that up to there, lock it in place. Okay. Keep that there momentarily. If we were to bring this up, maybe up 2. Okay, and then do that. That's 2 notches up. Okay. No, lock that. Go to there and go there. Oh. That's not gonna work. Bastard. Here, can I go from here all the way to there? If this was out of the way, I could. Okay. And then we just need to let's move this over to here. So it's a little bit more of a gradual drop down. Ah, you're still not going to do it. Damn it, Jim. Alright, then move you. Let's try it from, excuse me, from here. That works, okay. Okay, that's about as good as that's going to get. Now, for this last one, I'm going to have to kind of thread the needle through here. So if we grab you, put you right there. Whoops. No. There to there. See, I'm going to move this hut, though, so knowing that, I'll fix it later. I can't move the hut right now because I got a bunch of shit that I stored in there. So knowing that, we're just going to temporarily do this. And then I will fix this later and make it nice and neat after I move that building. Okay. Okay, so let's get all these guys going on calcium blocks. Very nice indeed. So I don't think we really need anything past here. All that can go. Yeah, let's get rid of it. You know, having this little speed delete thing is nice, but we really need a satisfactory solution where we can select a whole bunch of them at once and then delete them in one fell swoop. Maybe that's coming. I haven't looked at a roadmap, so let me know in the comments, guys, if you know if that's something they're going to eventually do. Alrighty then. What are our flow rates over here? So you're a 3 to 3. So that means well, it's still 1 per second though. It's just it takes 3 seconds for it to cycle. So it's still the same ratio. I don't know why they do that. That just doesn't make sense to me. Why not just make it all the same? And this is the same ratio too. Okay. I did look at the outputs on these, right? I think I did. Yeah, 2 seconds. Okay. So basically, one smelter supports one machine. Which means that we're already maxed out at the moment with just 2 machines up there. I think that's right. Anyway. I don't know if my math is right on those, though. I'm not a mathologist. Math kills my brain sometimes. It's definitely the case for the sheets, but for the blocks, if it does 3 every 3 seconds, it's still 1 per second though. It's just going to take 3 seconds for each cycle. So based upon that, I think the ratio is still the same. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if I got that wrong, or I'll have to think about it more later. Nevertheless, this is all we have to work with at the moment anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. All right. Now what we're going to do is, let's see. Let's actually come from over here. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put a multi-rail here. And we're going to put a multi-rail here, I think. And then we'll use this one for the furnaces. Oh, you're gonna curve out, aren't you? You bastard. Alright, that means we're gonna have to put it here then. You know what? I don't want to do it like this. And we don't need this either, because what we're going to do instead so since I'm gonna do it this way, We don't need 2 of these. We'll bring in the blocks for these guys on the south rail. And then we'll bring in the blocks for those guys on the north rail. And we'll curve it around to here. We'll put a rail connector there. It's not like super straight, but we're gonna run with it anyway.
I'm detecting increased rupture
Already?
activity.
Damn it, Jim.
Prepare for a wave.
Damn it, Jim. Okay. So basically, guys, we need to wrap up this episode because it's gone pretty long. So I'm going to run off of those 2 onto the south rail for the 2 furnaces. I'm going to run off of those 2 onto the north rail for the 2 fabricators. I'll get that set up off camera. I'll get all my shit out of there and then remove that building and fix the fix the line on this side coming off of that so it looks nice and neat. And then that'll take care of our starting calcium production. It's pretty small, but it'll get us going. And we'll have to expand it in the future with tier 2 extractors and also just bringing in more calcium from other places, but it'll get us started. Okay, so with that being said, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share the video, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.